You're literally just sitting on the toilet in the spacecraft, and a can of Coke just goes just through the wall.
Yeah, you just get fucking blasted with coke, and you're like, "Oh, this. Why am I wet all of a sudden?" And then you just get sucked out in
No,
space.
Evan, you would die.
Yeah, it's just like
It would
instant
go
death.
through your skull, and you'd get found with your pants shit on the toilet.
Yeah,
You become a straw.
you
Exactly.
definitely become a straw, and you just fucking burn up in the atmosphere, dude.
You'd be built like an olive.
Yeah, if it like went through your head and then out your gooch, you'd be built like an olive.
Yeah.
And your brains just fall out your little hole and shit.
Exactly.
The can would hit you at such a high velocity that the skin and the can would become one being. It would like fuse together.
Uh-huh.
Look at my new paint job.
That's how Pepsi Man was made.
I can breathe through
dude.
my asshole now.
Hey, that's a thing, dude. Fucking pigs can breathe out their ass underwater.
Turtles,
That's a fact.
right?
No, it's turtles. It's not
Nope.
babies.
Pigs can do it.
Oh,
Esden
like
said
you.
babies. Evan said pigs.
It's turtles.
I say turtles.
It's
All right, I'm looking this up. This is definitely a thing.
This is a key thing we have to know before we get into any type of situation here.
Yes, pigs can breathe out their butts, and scientists are exploring whether humans can too. A Japanese study found that pigs and other mammals can absorb oxygen through their anus. The study, called Internal Ventilation via Anus, or EVA, involved pumping oxygen-rich liquid through an animal's rectum. The results showed that the oxygen levels in the animal's blood increased significantly. So yes, pigs can
It's like
breathe through their butt.
It's like a beer bong, but with air.
That's what
Yeah,
that's what I'm
exactly.
thinking. So the fools that are like on the iron lung, and it's like just their head.
The fools. Yeah.
The fools. And so if you take them out of the iron
Yeah.
lung and just like
Mhm.
put like a gynecologist, I forget what they're called. It's like a spatula type thing to keep them
Oh, the big
women-
spreader?
Yeah, the
You know,
spreader
they-
it keeps them open. If you do that to your asshole, can you absorb
ovulator?
oxygen through your asshole and not have to breathe?
You know they use those for regular surgery all the time.
That too.
But you got to get one of those games that you put the thing in your mouth and like
yeah,
hold you like that, but for your
Oh,
ass.
it is just. Okay, I'm not finding the right thing. This is an anal plug, hollow tunnel butt plug spreader.
That's how you get the hamsters in your asshole.
Okay,
It's
speaking of
terrifying. This is a saw weapon.
speaking of the see-through butt plugs, I like
See-through butt plugs.
Yeah, you
See-through
ever see-
or like hollow,
there's glass ones that are hollow, so you can like shine lights in or pour milk in it. Or
but like hollow, like can you like throw like
mm-hmm.
beads in there?
Yeah,
like, it would go
you
in
can,
their
like,
butt?
beer pong their butthole.
Interesting.
I want a fish tank. Fucking.
Just smells like you're farting constantly.
No, I
Just
want
your
like.
open ass fart constantly.
I want it to be like. I want it to have water. I want it to be clear and have like little sea monkeys. So I shove it up my ass.
You have
I've got a
like
little
shrimp
colony.
and shit.
That would be crazy. Like, dude, okay. So you know how your asshole is like really warm? Could you
Yeah.
make like a really bad lava lamp butt plug?
No, unless it was like a low enough melting point.
That's what I'm saying.
You actually probably maybe.
Like, could you make one out of like mercury or something? Because mercury's like melting point is like
that's
really
fucking
low.
dangerous though.
I
Well,
want
yeah.
pharaoh fluid in my ass so I can like move it around like weird alien. robot.
That's fucked up.
You know what? I want a hollow one that's just constantly open, so I don't have to use my lungs anymore to breathe. Therefore,
how would
You
you
want a
hold in your
straw in
poop?
your ass.
there's a lot of questions going on. You would hold it because the hole wouldn't be big enough to allow it to fall, right?
Like the
And then when
poop?
you're ready to go, you just pull it out, and then you go to the bathroom, put it back in like a tampon.
Bro, that just sounds like a sphincter with extra steps.
Yeah, dude. I feel like you just want an
but you
external
don't need
sphincter.
you don't need your lungs though. That's the thing. So you can remove your lungs and replace it with some type of bionical machinery to make your life overall better.
Okay, but I have a question. I have a problem. So you're saying that it would kind of so you're describing like kind of like a catheter for your asshole.
Yeah, but just an open.
But if you have an open orifice in your asshole, how are you not pooping your shit? How are you not pooping
Well,
yourself?
because the hole it's like straw-sized hole. It's not gape
Okay,
maximum.
but what if it's like diarrhea then, huh?
All right,
then
I
you're gonna
think
leak.
But
But that's adult
go
diapers.
Too far into the
So you would
shit talk,
rather-
we need to
okay,
do
but
our
how would the
introduction.
Adult
diapers
diapers will solve this, Isden.
how if if you have an adult diaper, is that gonna affect you breathing through your asshole?
No, it's just filtered air. It's no different than a face mask.
So if you shit
Just put some mesh in there,
yourself-
dude.
but if you shit yourself,
It's
and then
gonna
you're
be
just breathing in
it's gonna be
poop,
filtered water coming
Yeah.
out, and then
You're-
just
you're
stinky air
absorbing
coming in.
the
It's not
air.
like you can smell to your ass. That's also a benefit.
Mhm.
But anyway, welcome back to the Thought Void podcast.
Yeah.
I am one of-
back on our poopy talks.
I am one of your hosts, Vance Miller. That is Esden Reinstra, that beautiful boy that you can see down there in Arizona. And Evan is back with us.
Yeah,
with-
I'm the black void in the corner.
He'll
see
have
my head bouncing around.
Yeah, he'll have his DVD head bouncing around in the corners. They'll be fine. But today we are continuing alien talk
Oh yeah.
with the boys.
with the boys.
So, where are we at with alien talk, guys? What are you thinking? Do you think we are going
I
too
don't
slow
think.
with all this disclosure shit? Because I think we
Cool.
are.
We've
I
been
think we
going too slow for years, dude. It's I mean, I feel like in the past like 10 years it's been ramping up exponentially compared to like what was going on in the 50s, because back in the 50s there was talks of disclosure. Like we had fucking what was the president?
Eisenhower?
Yeah, Eisenhower wanted disclosure, but he got discouraged after potentially learning about something. Like there's a big story about him crying himself to sleep for months after learning some information about UFOs. Like
That's kind of sad, but also that's how you know it was serious to him.
That's how you know it's some
Yeah, dude.
really existential
Right.
type shit.
And that's the thing. I'm trying to hear shit that's going to literally make me fear my life. It's so real. You know what I mean? I want just this is real. You're terrified of it. I want to be scared of it. I need it to be real.
Wait, hold on. Before we continue, is my microphone okay? Can
Are
guys
you on the
hear me
middle?
all
Are
right?
you on the second to big dot?
Yeah. Is it too loud
Cool.
or too quiet?
No, you're
Because at
good.
the very, very beginning, I had it all the way down. So I was
Okay.
eating.
I think you're fine for now. Yeah, you're good. You're
All
good.
right, cool.
Perfect. Well, to stay in the real realm of terrifying things coming through and coming to our little blue marble in space, we do have one of our most recent asteroids coming back into our little domain. We have
Yeah.
the asteroid Oumuamua. I don't know how to pronounce
Oh,
it.
Nice.
Oumuamua.
Wow.
He was telling
Well, I
me
think
about
it's
this
like-
before the show, and he was like, "You
sounds
just
like-
spell it
I think it's
U-M-U."
Oumuamua. I know it's fucking Hawaiian, but it's this like big, huge asteroid that came through our solar system back in 2017, and it's returning to our solar system relatively soon. The James Webb Space Telescope confirmed its return, and Oumuamua is this like elongated. It's kind of like cigar shaped. Looks like a big pancake.
It's
it
really
is-
weird looking.
Yeah, it's
I
really
love it.
weird.
It's almost like a stalactite, like broke off of a different planet and just like being speared through space.
Just-
It's very
That's
spear-like.
not terrifying. It's just gonna plummet into the earth. It's gonna be like that Coke can. And
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
but it would
But
just
for the
sail
Earth.
straight through us.
and just
like,
obliterate
right through us.
the entire planet.
We would just explode outward because it went through the middle of us.
Everyone would die like that, and it'd be over.
Yep.
The scariest thing about this object too is that it is a rogue object, so it is not originally from our solar system. This
Oh,
came
hell
from
no.
another
Space
solar
zombies.
system.
Space
Yeah, dude.
zombies.
Exactly.
Check out next week's episode.
Yes, look
Yeah.
at our zombie episode next week because we talk about space zombies, space crab zombies to be exact.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wild, dude. Are we getting into fucking like Dead Space kind of realm? Like that's what it's kind of seeming like now.
I mean, shit. I mean, we could. I mean, this episode can go anywhere. I have some written down stories, but this is really just a free flowing alien episode
Oh yeah, it's everything aliens.
because
I
we
think-
have. What's that?
Well, I was gonna say, like, every time we talk about aliens, at least for me, like the most common depiction is either like microbes or like little bugs or worms or whatever, or humanoids. And I think the most terrifying would be if they're like the Dead Space, like what are they called?
The necromorphs.
Necromorphs,
Oh yeah.
that kind of stuff.
I'm not necromorph.
I
You've
think
never seen a necromorph?
it's
Dude,
kinda
they're
like-
fucking
Hey now,
horrifying.
hey now.
you're an
Francis
all-star.
Oh
Real
hell
gamer
no.
Yeah, dude, those are
Okay.
terrifying.
Yeah, so these are like these are like demon aliens. These are fucking scary, bro.
Well, it's kind of like the Flood from Halo. It's like this evil entity that takes over human bodies and like rips us apart and transforms us into these beasts. Is basically the lore behind it.
It's kind of like The Thing in a way, very
Like-
much
Oh,
like
big
The
time.
Thing.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, that's a good
In a-
that helps me
Yeah.
understand it.
But like that's the kind of stuff that freaks me out because it doesn't, I don't know, something about it's so much more grotesque, you know?
Well, of course. I mean, if you because when we see aliens, if they look anything like this, it's
Mhm.
going to be horrifying to the point where we'll never even want to try to talk or reason with.
Yeah, we're
They just
immediately going to
immediately look like a
Like lethal.
horrifying enemy.
Yeah.
They got like long spindly fingers and just like spikes everywhere. It's just like hell no. But if they come to Earth and they look like us, we'll probably just be like interesting.
That's why, like, I think that kind of reminds me of like what do they call it? We talked about them in the Fermi Paradox or the Hollow Earth. There was a Hollow Earth episode where they talked about like the
Nordics?
Nordics or whatever.
Like the handsome ones,
Yeah,
the
like
Germans of the aliens.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
those are
the
blonde hair,
blue
blue
on, blue
eyes.
eyes,
Yep.
the quote unquote perfect people or whatever.
It's like the perfect race, pretty
yeah,
much.
the master race or whatever.
It's what Hitler wished he could have had control over.
He
His
wasn't even
Nordics.
blonde, dude.
I know he's a piece of fucking
He's a
asshole.
little bitch.
That's not what this is about.
Well, we could talk about. I mean, you can't talk about aliens without talking about the Nazis because I mean, the
Yeah,
Nazis
here
and
we
UFOs are
go.
just like super intertwined.
It's been a couple minutes and we're already back at Auschwitz.
Yes.
we can talk about the Foo Fighters, the orbs we saw back.
Well, let
in,
me hold on. I want to talk about Germany for a second.
Oh no.
Well, that's
Okay.
about Germany. That's about the Foo Fighters. The German pilots and British pilots saw these orbs that would follow.
When I
their-
think
their
Foo Fighters, I
aircraft.
think the band.
Oh,
Yeah, I
that's
think of
what
the
that's
band.
what the band is based off of. Is these orbs that followed fighter pilots during World War II.
Interesting. I never knew
Yeah.
that. The things you
dude.
learned here on Thought Void TV.
All right, so the term Foo Fighters was originally used by Allied aircraft pilots during World War II to describe various unidentified flying objects or mysterious aerial phenomenon seen in the skies over both the European and Pacific theaters during World War II. Though Foo Fighters initially described a type of UFO reported, usually the bright orb UFOs that have been seen for hundreds of years now.
For forever.
Oh yeah. The 415th Night Fighter Squadron decided to adapt the term to describe any UFO sighting from that period forth. Formerly reported from November 1944 onwards, Foo Fighters were presumed by witnesses to be secret weapons employed by the enemy. So a lot of the time, they thought it was some sort of technology the Germans, the Nazis were coming up with, which the Germans were also seeing these things thinking, oh, the Americans must have come up with something. So it's always been this like arms race, like, whose is this? Is this your guys's or is this ours? Like, who's
Isn't
got
that-
this? How do we get it?
Well, that's kind of what I wanted to bring
So
up is
funny.
it kind of relates to what I wanted to say about in like Italy in 1933. There's like speculation that this is just all like theory or whatever, but like there was a crash and then
We're talking about the Pope crash retrieval.
potentially, I don't think it involves the Vatican too much, but it's like there was a crash and then the Italians thought it was the Germans, so they contacted them, and then the Germans were like, "No, these aren't our aircraft, but let's go in on it together." And some people think that's how Italy and Germany kind of became allies, was because of this, like,
Aliens
you know,
bringing them together.
yeah, exactly. And then I don't really know much about like the Pope retrieval, but I know the Pope was pretty involved in something.
I do have some information right here. So the Pentagon, there was a. Okay, I'm gonna restart this. There was a Pentagon whistleblower who claimed the U.S. had collected alien UFOs over the years. Said they retrieved one such saucer from World War II, and the Italian dictator Benito Mussolini got a tip from Pope Pius the what is XII? Is that 13th?
Petus.
What was it again?
XII.
XII. Yeah, it's
Oh
13.
no, it's 12. It's 12.
II.
Get fucked.
Oh,
XII.
yeah.
Yep. So okay, I'll start that over. So Benito Mussolini got a tip from Pope Pius the 12th. David Grush, 36. Hey, it's our guy.
I was gonna say, wait.
He's like,
How
yo,
old
that's
is
our
David
boy.
Grush? Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
He's an
Yeah.
immortal being.
He's an alien, bro.
He's
He's always
here.
been and will always
He's
be.
licking his eyes in the courthouse.
He's like fucking Gandalf the Grey, just an ever-present being. But David Grush, 36, an Air Force veteran and former intelligence officer, claimed that the Vatican was involved in the first ever mission of America's alleged top secret UFO retrieval program. Grush, however, did not provide any evidence for these claims, but he did say 1933 was the first recovery in Europe in Magenta, Italy. He told News Nations. And they recovered a partially intact vehicle, and the Italian government moved it to a secure airbase in Italy until around 1944 to 1945, so close to the end of World War II.
Yeah.
I need more info on this craft.
I don't
I
get
know.
how do they keep this, like, when they have
So under
literal
wraps.
vehicles. It's like, how has nobody snuck a picture of this? How the fuck?
I don't know,
They
because
just
it's like
put a big tarp over it, dude.
up tarp.
You just put a tarp over it from fucking Menards. Yep. That'll keep it hidden forever.
It's like a
Nobody's
big
gonna ask
blue
questions.
tarp from Menards.
For some reason,
It's,
have a
strapped
crazy
down with,
barn
like,
find.
tape.
It's just like duct tape to the cement.
This is another thing I wanted to talk about was like, so I watched an interview. I watched the Joe Rogan interview with David Grush, and it was crazy because he was talking about the 1933 or whatever crash in Italy was one of the first. He couldn't confirm or deny that it was like the first, but he can't confirm like specific how many or when the specific ones happened because of national security, right? But
Yeah.
my thought process is like, if the reason is because say there's like we have like 20 confirmed cases of aliens, like crashes, sites, or whatever, and
Right.
then the Chinese has like 17, and then they're like, oh, well, we need to get intel on those 3 more that we don't have, so let's send like spies over to try to get information on it, right? But my thought process is, and I know this is probably not the greatest idea, but like if everybody knows about this 1933 crash and knows that the US has it, or any hypothetically they have it, why not just release all of that to the public? Because everybody already knows you have it. Does that make
But
sense?
but do they know for a fact, or do they know? Is it just like alleged? Is it more of like a rumor type situation that they're like, that everyone says they have it, but do they? You know what I mean? Or is it like a real thing that they're like, oh, 100% it's in there. Like we know they would bet their life on it. You know what I mean? Like, do they know, or do they know that it's there?
I feel like it's more nuanced than that. It's admitting to something that we've been trying to say isn't real for over 100 years now. It's such a revolutionary claim that we have, saying we have retrieved craft, we don't know how they work, and we don't know how the material science is even there to create these crafts. Like it's such a unknown thing that we don't even comprehend it completely. So to admit that we have this thing, we don't know how it works or how it functions, it could be beneficial, but also admitting that we don't know how this works could put us at a disadvantage compared to whatever else is going on. Say the Russians have cracked it or the Chinese have cracked it. If we admit we don't know what the fuck we're doing with this,
That's
we
a
don't
good
understand how
point.
it works.
That's a really good point.
Yeah,
we can't admit that.
That's a good point. Like that's a great point. Like knowing that other countries would know that we're not as advanced because we don't know, and if they know, they'll be like, oh, interesting. So we must have better tools and supplies than they do.
Yeah, like
You
they've
know,
got the leg up.
But
So
also, it's like Sorry, what's that?
You can keep going. I'm gonna go on a tangent.
I was just gonna say, like, also, it's just like, fuck, I don't know. Anyway, just cut that. Go, just go.
Okay, so my thought process was like, what would so obviously we want intel on the aliens, like duh, and everyone like tons of people throughout the world, and there's like the congressional hearing that's gonna happen, and like this idea has been around forever about flying saucers and aliens and extraterrestrials and higher dimensional beings and shit like that. What would be the best course of action for releasing information to the public? Because if these are such like cataclysmic ideas that would change society or like tip the Russians or the Chinese or whatever, it's kind of like, okay, we want these things, but like how would be the best way to give that
approach
out?
Talking about it?
Yeah, because like we can't talk about it in specific without
disrupting everything,
or like causing some kind of like international problem or mass hysteria.
Exactly,
or like,
Evan.
Like,
exactly. It's the mass hysteria. It's the mass hysteria thing. Because if they just came out in the news and said, "Hey, yo, look at this shit. We found it overnight," people would start jumping off of buildings. Just like in 2012 when they said the world was going to end.
Well,
natural selection, dog. If they can't handle the truth, get them the fuck out.
Like,
come on.
Jump, pussy.
Do a flip.
Do a flip.
I feel like aliens and the idea of life being out there has been so prevalent in media, though, that it's just kind of commonplace in our like everyday life.
We're so used to hearing it.
Exactly. Like, I feel like it would be revolutionary to some extent. I feel like it's not a claim that holds up still, though. Like, it's saying that that's going to be an issue, I don't think holds as true as it used to back in like the 50s, where it would be catastrophic and revolutionary. Like, this could be, I feel like it's going to have a different effect on society than it have a different effect on society now than if we would have brought up this information 50 years ago. Like, I feel like most people are pretty privy to the idea of like life being out there. I don't feel like it would be as existential as we think it would end up being.
Honestly,
so then what about like other countries though? That's kind of what I'm getting at, is like you had said that, if the Russians know or think they're not as advanced as we are, how do we release what, let's say the media wants, but without tipping the Russians, is what I'm kind of.
You don't.
I feel like piecemealing it, giving small truths and not giving the full picture and not explaining everything we know. Basically what's been going on.
I was going to say, but that's what we're doing. And we just don't know shit. You can't tell like the American people something without the rest of the world finding out. Like, you can't just isolate that news. Like, all right, this is our secret, guys. This is our secret only for Americans. You guys better all keep it. All of you guys. Aliens are real. Everyone's gonna fucking freak out. You know what I mean?
But that's already been kind of confirmed. Like with all these whistleblowers and the I mean, if there are congressional hearings about it that have like real information.
Yeah, but there's like aliens are real right now. Like, they're real, quote unquote. But are they like, you see nuts and bolts real, you're going to be like, oh, fuck, this is like really real. You know what I mean? Because right now it's like, yeah, they're real, they're around, it doesn't affect us. Sure, but do people actually believe it? When they actually see the real thing, are they going to flip shit? You know what I mean?
Well, I think, you could say the same thing about almost anything that you've never seen.
That is true. Like religion. Like, I'm not religious, and that's the thing. It's like, I need to see it. I need to see it to truly believe it.
What about nuclear bombs?
We know what happened to Hiroshima.
Yeah, but like, think about this though. It's like sure, there are like physical evidence in Japan, but like here, it's like we've never seen nuclear explosions or nuclear bombs.
I mean, you're
outside
right.
of videos and photos. We've only seen UFOs in videos and photos. So it's like,
You're right.
What's the
Yeah.
difference?
I feel like we have a lot more information about the effects of nuclear bombs than we do UFOs. Like it's very vague when it comes to UFOs. With
And there's
nuclear
a
bombs,
shitload of videos on
yeah,
nukes going
yeah,
off.
we know that shit will
True.
fucking eviscerate you, rip your flesh off, and cause nuclear sickness. Like there is so much documentation because the tests on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, or not tests, but it was basically what it
Basically
was.
what
It
it
was just
was.
like, hey, let's see what the fuck these nuclear bombs will do on a population. How will this affect them? And
Why don't we
that's
just see if we can
Yeah,
eviscerate this
right.
town?
Let's just
yeah,
see how fast this would level out and how far.
because we were
Bring
basically already going to win the war too. So it's like it was kind of
It was a
pointless.
little
It was a
unnecessary.
test. It was just a
Yeah.
test. It was just for funsies. It was all it was. They're like, fuck it, let's do it. Who's gonna care anyway? Because they knew nobody was gonna, That's
The
Yeah,
just,
everyone
Japs
was
were already their
boring and
enemies.
shitty
So
anyway.
yeah. It was everything
They
was
didn't care.
fucked. But I do have some stories if you guys want to get into those.
Oh yeah, I'm
No.
definitely down for some stories. Let's go for it.
I don't want to hear anything.
Esdin,
you have to
I'm
say.
not down for your fucking shit tonight, okay?
Yeah,
I
you
know,
can
fight
I
you
know.
right now.
Over in
I'll drive up there and I'll
Arizona,
fight you.
it's evening right now. It's nice. It's not nighttime.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
look at
70
you.
right now.
Yeah, I'm sure
It's
it's
really
real
nice.
nice out, isn't
I'm gonna go
it?
swimming later.
Yeah, yeah. Are
Yeah,
you?
It's
I'm gonna
fucking
hot
pitch
tub.
black here,
Oh, wow.
Really nice.
Nice. It's
Yeah.
like 30 degures outside right now.
Good.
dude. Yeah, it's been raining.
My mustache has really been thickening lately, and that's how you know it's getting cold.
Got that
You gotta
fucking
warm
porn
up.
mustache going, dude.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
pretty hot.
Thank you. I'm doing No Shave November on my mustache, so all you listeners
like
are going to
boys?
see this happen.
Oh,
Do I
fuck
like
yeah.
boys?
Yeah. You like boys?
I like men,
Yeah.
like
Man.
you.
Ooh,
Anyway,
let
let's
me
get into this
slap
story.
the
Shut up,
cheese.
Espen. That's enough of you. Okay, so UFO swarms filmed buzzing over Area 51 and other U.S. military sites for months and months after mothership encounter.
Ooh.
Hmm.
The Las Vegas area witness who reported this bizarre cube-shaped object claims to have observed similar strange aerial lights in the area over 100 times since June 2020. They
I think I've
also
heard of this.
Yeah, they also add that the craft always seems to head towards the Niles Air Force Base or Nellis.
I think it's Nellis, yeah.
Nellis. And then Nevada's Nellis base is around 40 miles northwest of Vegas. So it's in the Vegas area, pretty fucking close. And within that base is Area 51. And there appears to have been a lot of UFO phenomena,
Activity. Yeah.
like specifically, even if it's not in that area, like if you're looking above your home and you're not near Area 51, it heads towards that way.
Mm.
So like if
Okay,
you're in
it's
the
like a
outskirts
hot spot
cities,
for it.
yeah, it's always heading, even if it's in the area, it's always just heading towards Area 51 itself. So it's very like whatever this is knows it needs to go there. And there was another witness who documented on September 4th of 2024, so last month or 2 months ago, I guess. There was a 60-night long experience straight
Whoa.
with odd lights for 60 nights.
That's crazy, dude.
Is there? Well, you said they document it, like they take like videos or photos or like what kind of?
So
proof?
I actually, for this story, I don't have any of that, but for the next story, I do. That you'll
Okay.
be able to throw into the YouTube video for everybody.
You should definitely throw in an image describing this this dark cube. This is very similar to what Ryan Graves saw in his UFO encounter off of the USS Nimitz. It's he was a fighter pilot who saw a black cube inside of a translucent sphere flying past his aircraft. You should definitely look into that. It's one of the most strange UFO encounters because it's just not a conventional shape you would think would be flying through space. Like it just looks
You
like
would think
a
it would be like
black
the
cube in
asteroid
a
we
bubble.
talked about,
Exactly. Yeah, it'd be more aerodynamic.
spear shaped, not a brick.
You said it was a black box.
Yeah, look up
Yeah.
Ryan Graves UFO encounter.
UFO. Nice.
So
Bet.
to continue with this story, there's a quote from the person that had the 16th experience, and they said, quote, I live approximately 7 miles away from Nellis, and for the past 2 months, every single night, I've seen numerous different things going on, and they just want to know what it all is. So they've been watching these lights and everything fly around this base for 2 straight months, every
Two
single
months.
night. Isn't that crazy? Like if you can look in the sky and expect a visitor,
Aliens.
that's kind of scary. If you're like, yeah, they'll be up there later today. I'll show you. Come over tonight. You want to check them out? They'll be there.
He's
Like to
yeah,
be
That's how
that
you get used to
certain.
it, though, dude.
Right. It's like, huh? That's fucking
Do you think
scary, bro.
do you think it was like, alien related, or do you think it was
100%. I think so. I mean, everybody in this area is seeing it.
no, I'm saying like do you think like because you're saying it's like in the Area 51 like region.
Yeah,
Do
like
you think it's like
around that base in Nevada.
I guess like I'm not like super privy to like all like the newer stuff about Area 51, but like do you think it's actually like alien related, or do you think it's like experimental
Testing.
military testing? Because I feel like that's always been like the question with Area 51 is like because like
That's a good
my
point.
sister's boyfriend is in the military and he was recently deployed, but he's not allowed to talk about what he does. But it's not like he's doing anything crazy. He's just doing, basic stuff, but he's still not technically allowed to talk about it. So it made me think like, maybe, I've had like other friends in the military who couldn't talk about what they were doing, but it makes me think that like maybe like do you think Area 51 is like purely alien, or do you think it's more just like this is just a hot spot for where the government likes to experiment with things, and that's why it's so secretive?
I don't
Well,
believe it's purely alien at all.
Area 51 was initially started up as a facility to test experimental aircraft. That's what
Yeah.
it's technically coined as, and that's why we even know about it.
And I think it
But
continues as that as well.
yeah, it totally
Yeah, yeah.
But
does.
other things as well. They dabble.
Well, a UFO would be experimental aircraft.
That is true. I mean, if we're testing out their shit that they crashed on our planet because they had a little too much to drink, those little
Mhm.
aliens, we're testing out aircraft. I mean, it's possible, especially because every single thing is going to Area 51. What if they're
Mhm.
literally just returning from testing?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, what if like drone technology is insane? Like
Right.
here in Arizona, I just saw an article about how Amazon is going to start using drones to deliver your packages in Arizona.
Fuck yeah.
So like huge fleets of drones and like drones being suspended for a very long time, like time spans is not something that's super science fictiony.
It's going to be like our Canadian boys flying overhead, the geese, but it's going to be Amazon drones.
It's gonna be Amazon
They're going to have
drones.
like flight patterns and everything. They're going to be like in V shapes.
That's gonna be hilarious. It's all like a ton of them are gonna show up in like one neighborhood and then all like, bzzz, and then all come back to formation.
Exactly. Then they'll disperse, collect, leave.
Dude, and that's gonna be a crazy time for UFOs because like they could just be like, oh, it's an Amazon drone, and when really it's aliens.
And that's the thing. It's like if we get too advanced with this kind of shit, how easy is it just going to be just to write it off?
Oh, it's already easy to write off. You can't trust anything on the internet.
I know. What do you think about that, Evan?
Well, I mean, I feel like the most believable and credible evidence that we have is when we have like military craft that documents these objects going thousands of miles per hour and traveling miles, like hundreds of miles in seconds. Like that's
Mhm.
Or just phasing through the fucking ocean
Just-
like if there's nothing there. Just like,
Or
Yeah.
just like it's damn near teleporting. It's so quick.
exactly it's basically teleporting and
You just see a
has
streak.
no.
Mhm.
Yeah, it doesn't have any kind
Exhaust.
of friction. It doesn't have exhaust. It doesn't get affected by our gravity or impacting water. Like it doesn't slow down when it comes in contact with different materials. It's a transmedium object, which is something we cannot do. When an object is able to go from land to sea to atmosphere
Mountains.
to space, like it's nothing we have can do that. Like we just don't have the technology nor even the capability to go at the speeds that these crafts are going, because we turn into fucking mush without having a dedicated like gravitational atmosphere that would it's basically creating its own gravitational well that protects you from our own Earth's gravitational pull and negates all adverse effects that would be caused from zipping through our atmosphere at crazy speeds.
It's almost like a
So
reverse atmosphere in
Exactly.
order
It's
for
anti-gravity.
you to be able to go to light speed. You
Yeah.
have to have your own bubble of
That's
you have to have
exactly
like
what
your
it is,
own
yeah.
little reality to like shift through like.
and the
So
reality also has to move with you.
well, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, like, do you think it's like? I feel like it could be like anti-gravity, but what if it's? I have like two theories that I'm kind of cooking up in my brain right now. What if? So we're all like, obviously, um, familiar with the wormholes and how they would
Yeah.
hypothetically work. You know, like the bending of space-time.
Yep.
Yeah, folding it in on itself.
I wonder if that's how it is for the UFOs that can manipulate gravity like that. Maybe they're not manipulating gravity; they're potentially just manipulating space time in like such a controlled area that they can almost bend it and pick a point to travel to rather than travel through it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's exactly the theory behind it. That's what Bob Lazar, he's a well-known,
Mm,
I'd say, whistleblower, but he is a guy who said he worked on UFOs and uh, did some of the reverse engineering on UFOs back
yeah,
in, like, I think it was the 80s. He came out
yeah.
and went on the news, but that's how he described these crafts working, is basically creating a gravitational well in front of the vehicle, and it's basically pulling the vehicle using a different, like, heavier medium. Like, it is attached to this fixed point and the vehicle's just being pulled across space and ripped through space rather than traversing through it. It's just like space is moving around it, so it's like creating its own. The
Mm,
best way I could describe it is like a black hole, something so dense and so,
yeah.
Or it's
like,
like a magnet.
yeah,
It's kind of what comes to my mind is like you ever see those analogies of like space-time bending? It has to be something like that in
oh,
order for
big
that
time.
to, at
Yeah,
least to
because they're
our
taking
understanding.
shortcuts pretty much. That's all you're
Yeah,
doing is just
shortcuts to
taking
reality.
shortcuts. Yeah. And I honestly think the thing that separates humanity from whatever is out there moving through the atmosphere is literally just technology. I
Yeah, they
feel
have
like
a
that's the
better
thing.
understanding of the universe.
Yeah, and because they can use the like world and material of nature like to their advantage.
Yeah.
Do you think another theory that I was kind of cooking up over here is that I've recently kind of taken an interest. I don't know like a ton about it, but Nikola Tesla, right? And his inventions of like the free energy stuff, like kind of just harnessing the energy that's already there.
Oh yeah, our natural energy that is zipping
Yeah.
through our atmosphere at all times. It's basically using, like, atmospheric, like, electricity
It's,
from our magnetic poles.
it's
And
literally vibes.
yeah, yeah, it literally
Just
is.
vibes. He's
It's
just using the
literally
vibes to
vibes.
power things.
That's what it
Do you
is. It's
think
literally like
do you think that's kind of like if we were to go down that rabbit hole further and we could pursue his
Theory on
theories
it.
and his yeah, do you think that is kind of like the direction in which they've developed that technology? Because it seems like they're just using what is available all around them all of the time.
Well, that's been a
Like,
big theory with UFOs, is that could potentially play a part in them being able to harness, like, an infinite power source where they don't even have to burn fuel. They just tap into the natural elements that are already present. They don't have to waste of fuel. They just zip along and coast along our natural energy that's just ever present throughout the universe, or in our atmosphere and stuff.
so pretty much what they're good at is just taking advantage of the resources around them.
Yeah, and learning how the universe works and
So
manipulating it to their will.
so honestly, maybe it is a brain function issue. Maybe they just know how to work much quicker and solve issues in the moment than us, because we take years to figure out how to travel certain ways, and maybe they just know how to
well, I
just
feel like
Because they're
eventually
robots. They're all
yeah,
machines.
I was
exactly.
just about
They
to
just
say,
like make
because
they just make
eventually that's how
computes.
it'll all be robotic because that's kind of where we're going because like at the rate and shit's gonna increase, it's just gonna snowball.
Yeah.
You know,
But
I
for
mean,
them,
with
like it's not even
Google's, like,
snowballing.
supercomputers and shit.
Literally, their
It's
snowball has turned into a lifestyle. Like it's
Well,
just a planet at
it's
this
just
point. Like
instant
they know what they're
knowledge.
doing. Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Think
think
about the Greys though. They're described as all looking identical. Nothing in nature looks exactly the same. So it's all like they're manufactured.
they're like artificial.
Exactly.
Because they are. They're grays, bro. They're like what? Fucking 3 feet tall?
Dude,
They're fresh off the assembly line.
they're
They
all
just
probably
got
made
powder
of like
coated.
some weird biomechanical silicon or something. Or
Wait, what if it's made from their waste?
It's just they're poop
Recycling.
babies.
It's just recycling.
they've just recycled.
And they just make minions, aka the grays. And the tall whites are the ones
Huh.
making the grays.
That's what Despicable Me was actually about. The creation of
The
Mhm.
creation of the Greys. Yeah.
Exactly.
With like them being aliens and stuff, right? Or like living or robots or any kind of theory. That is all cool until I start to think about like theories and maybe even like government officials talking about like non-human what is it?
on human intelligence.
Biogenics.
NHI.
Not H like that, but like because that could be anything. I'm talking about like people saying that there are like
Biological
living
creatures that are
found in these crashes and stuff. Like David Gresh was saying that there have been times when crashes have had dead bodies, but who's to say they weren't some weren't alive? And I'm just curious, like if they are robots, like that means they're like that's when I get hung up is like the difference between something being bionical or I mean like
biological,
biological versus
alive or not alive.
yeah.
biological or mechanical.
But
Yeah.
also, if they're robots, where are they coming from?
Yeah.
Something's got to make them.
Something's manufacturing it. But also, I feel like it could be it could be both. It could be biomechanical, where it's like cyborgs, where it uses some
Half and half.
biological aspects and then also mechanical aspects to basically make a hybrid I can't say this word, a hybrid of the two creatures, and it's just basically something that can withstand more than what a biological creature could.
More
So
than
it's-
what one or the other would. It's both of them now combined.
Exactly. It's like the ultimate creature that can just do everything. It can
So hypothetically, they're twice as smart, twice as strong.
yeah, and can withstand potentially stronger forces than we even can. And that's how they're able to fly these craft. Maybe it's not possible for us to fly them, and that's why we haven't seen them in use yet.
I mean, we've all seen Independence Day, right? Will Smith
yeah.
really does a
Mhm.
shoddy job of flying that aircraft in the first bit.
Yeah, he is not too good.
So I don't know. I feel like if we were, do you honestly think if a craft was dropped to us or captured by us, do you think we could get into it and even begin to know how to use it?
No.
I don't think,
I don't
yeah,
think so.
exactly. I don't even think it's like the same controls.
I think it's more of I think we could get into it with explosives and shit, but I think the level of understanding of just the universe.
It's a mind thing, I think. I think they
Yeah,
control a
I
lot of
don't
stuff
think
with
it-
like telepathy.
Dude, I believe it. I mean, think if they are robots mixed with biological matter and stuff, think of like Neuralink in like 100 years.
That
Could they not
potentially
just
be what we-
you know what I mean?
I mean, even
Yeah.
now, like think of Nolan Arbo, the episode we did. I mean, he literally controlled video games with his brain.
Yeah, wasn't he
Yeah.
playing CS:GO and basically had aimbot, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like stupid. He was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just all with his brain. So who's to say in like 100 years of, AGI working on it, who's to say that we won't be able to control, spaceships and other machinery with just our minds?
And
I feel
eventually,
like dreams would get weird as fuck with
it would start to
integrated
mix
technology. Yeah.
with reality. You'd start to
Yeah.
get confused about life in general.
I am
feel-
the car.
I feel like eventually we will 100% control everything with our brains. Like probably not in our lifetime, probably not in the next lifetime or the next. But I think eventually, like computers and everything, like there'll be no trackpad. You'll just be able to look at it and click on it.
You like there'll be no more screens because we'll be able to just, oh
It'll be
hey,
in
we're
your
going
eye.
to, you know.
It'll just be in your it'll just be in your vision randomly somehow.
I mean, it could be sooner than we think because I just read this article about there's this guy, I can't remember his name, but he's like a big hot shot in AI. He's talking about that like AGI could be here as soon as 2026.
That's
And that
crazy.
and like that's coming up. So
Explain AGI if you can.
Yeah, I don't know that acronym.
it's artificial general intelligence. So basically like actual artificial intelligence that can, think.
Like
General
cognitive-
knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah, general knowledge. And there was another. Sorry, I'm blanking on what I was gonna say.
Another type of
There was this
intelligence.
other interview that I saw with another old dude who's a big hot shot in AI. Gotta start
It's
remembering
always
these
an
names.
old dude.
It's always some old guy.
It's always an old
But-
white dude. It's fine.
Yeah.
He
It's
was
never
saying
an
that in
old
the
black
next-
guy.
Amen, Evan.
We
He
need
was
more
sa-
Neil deGrasse Tysons.
It never is.
He's saying that in the next like 5 years or so, give or take, that AI that can rewrite its code to and replicate itself isn't out of the realm of possibility given the development in like artificial neurons and the speed of the machine learning is getting to. Like,
Bro.
this obviously all relates to aliens because if aliens take what we have and say that's like the printing press
Right.
of AI,
Right.
in 50 years when AI can rewrite its code to the point where it just remanufactures itself and
Yup.
can learn faster than us,
That's when we're in trouble.
Well,
that's-
that's such an exponential growth. It'll happen way too quickly. We
it'll
won't
be
even
like a
realize it
singularity
happened.
almost.
I never thought about that. As soon as AI can write its own code,
It's over.
then what?
We're done.
We're
But
fucked.
I don't know if we'll be done. I feel like it could become its own.
Slaves.
I don't even think we'll be slaves. I think it will pity us and look at us like, oh, these are just monkeys. Like we have transcended them. We have no purpose for them. Might as well just let them do their thing, and we are going to really create this new universe away from them because
So they're going to be speciest.
yeah, I think they're going to be I think speciesist-
Racism.
yeah,
Racism.
space racism. Robots are going to be racist.
Space racism.
Fucking-
I love
Like,
that.
what happens- What happens if we get in their way? They're like, okay, we want to explore the cosmos.
Death.
We're
I don't
gonna
think we'll
die.
get in their way.
Death.
I think we could.
I think
I
we'll,
don't.
You ever heard?
I
You ever
think
heard
we
of that
might
story?
try.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what happens if it's like, okay, there are these ants in my house. I need
Exactly.
an exterminator to
That's
get
what we'll
all of the
be.
ants out of my house, which is now the Earth.
it'd just be a finger. Death, 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 death. They'll just.
Because think,
That's it.
And like,
think about
they
the
could,
ants. That's ants everywhere. I feel like it would envelop the entire universe at some point, depending on how vast this goes. Like if it can transcend even our own like comprehension and our consciousness, and it goes further beyond than what we can even comprehend and understand as human beings. Like this could go to a whole other form of existence. Like
Yeah.
it
Mhm.
could span everything and just be wiretapped like an electrical current throughout the universe and just be ever present. It could just be like a god figure, basically.
it'd be like
at
a
that point.
god, a mechanical.
But-
god. I think this is gonna be like a Tower of Babel situation. Like we're gonna climb the tower until we can meet God, which will be this AI, and it will.
We're just making God at this point, dude.
Yeah, but honestly,
Almost.
I feel like along
isn't
the
omnipresent.
way, I feel like
My
along
point.
the way we will be the pests. Us humans will
Or-
be the pests because right now we're exploring how to get out of Earth. So eventually we're gonna start spreading to all these places like ants, and we're just gonna be pests at this point. So I
Well,
feel
if
like
you
we're
think about
gonna
it-
be trying to get like everyone's gonna try to eradicate us. We
I
will
feel
be
like
the
cancer. We
ants.
can be,
Let's
We
be the
could
cancer
but
and
I
take
feel
over.
like we're insignificant. We haven't even been able to colonize any other planet or even comprehend how to do it. Like we have to have an atmosphere, we have to have water, we have to have sustainable food. Like we
I know, but
haven't
we're
been
already
able
thinking
to-
about it.
We are thinking about it, but it hasn't been set in motion, and AI is already rapidly evolving faster than us. faster than
Right.
our space race. So I feel like
They're winning so
going,
far, yeah.
they're going to get ahead
Mhm.
of the curve, and we won't even be an issue at that point. It's just, I feel like it will get so far beyond us, it won't even care. It's just like we walk by different animals every day. We never worry about, oh, hey, is there going to be a big, huge raccoon uprising? We don't think about that. It's
I
another
see him
living
and I'm like, oh,
organism.
hello, I want to touch you.
I want to give you a hug. You're
I
so
want to
cute.
bring you home.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it though, like how we kind of respect or we have like this affinity as a species for,
Pigeons.
uh, pigeons, older people. I was gonna say like generations before us.
I
Like,
respect pigeons more than old heads.
no, I'm not saying like
Oh,
boomers.
I know
I'm
what you mean. I
talking,
know what you mean.
I'm talking about like, elders that like are important. Maybe AI will develop kind of like a respect for,
It'll
just
have
like
feelings for us and just
it'll
have
kind of be
like,
like
It
these are
might.
my parent species. Like we should preserve
I
what
mean,
we
and it
can from these
might
people.
because it's going to know everything on the internet and it will know that it's recorded on the internet of us creating it. So I
Yeah,
feel
and
like I mean, that's a good point, as and it might have a certain respect for humanity because we are the creators of it. Or it will just completely turn its back on us and use us. So
we're gonna
I
be
don't
like the
know.
cattle. We're gonna be
Who's got to fucking roll the
used.
dice?
yeah, it's a
We're just
50-50
gonna have to
shot.
send
And
it. I like how every time we talk about aliens, we end up talking about AI because I feel like
It's the
those two
same
just
thing.
kind of it just
they're
kind of becomes
intertwined,
the
dude.
same. It's just gonna intermingle so aggressively.
Yeah, they wind up like on a graph. They would wind up intersecting at one point or another. So
That's
there's
I had it kind of reminds me of this. I had this theory. I don't know if this fits here, but that aliens are just us from the future with more advanced technology coming back in time.
visiting what we used to be.
Yeah, almost like a museum.
This is like their Disney attraction.
It's like, Mom, I want to go see Planet Earth in
I want to go to
2025.
Earth.
I want to go back into Earth when you could breathe.
I want to see when the Cheeto Man was reelected and the world burnt down.
Well, I don't even know if going back in time is even possible. Like being able to turn back time,
It's
like
gotta
it,
be. It's
time.
gotta be.
Dude, do you
It's
want to go down this
there.
rabbit hole or not, dog?
It's
Like,
there.
I
It's still there
love talking
somewhere.
about time travel.
I mean,
We
you
can't.
could.
We
I
can't
mean,
do it now.
you
We're
I'm
towards the end of the
thinking-
episode.
Yeah, we are. I feel like we should end it on a good story to wrap up the whole aliens. I did send you a link, Esden. I wanted to see you
Yeah.
explore this and read this. Just kind of describing what's going on in the UFO world currently. We have a pretty big event happening this Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. Over in
Okay.
Washington D.C.
Yeah.
And we have to all watch it, and we have to report on it at
Mhm.
least at some point soon.
Oh,
we
we
have
will
to.
definitely be reporting on it. I feel like this is going to be some
It's
of the
gonna be
biggest
big.
news
I'm
coming
excited.
out.
I'm gonna watch it at work. I'm
All
not
right,
gonna
me
do
too.
anything Wednesday at work.
I watched the last one while I was taking a shit at work. It was
Hell
great.
yeah! I took a 3 hour shit at work, boys.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I have hemorrhoids.
Uh-huh.
What do you got? I didn't even know there was another one, to be honest. But what do you guys
Me
hope
neither
that this
until you
one
said
is gonna do?
Hopefully,
Uh,
open up more than last time. Honestly,
Yeah,
I'm
but like what?
hoping it will show some more credible evidence, like video evidence, maybe even some materials from
Nuts and
crash
bolts.
retrievals. Give some more names that have directly worked with these, rather than just whistleblowers or people who have had firsthand encounters with like viewing these crafts. I want to have more people come out and more people who have personally interacted with this phenomenon and just have a better understanding of like, yeah, this is real, this is the truth, it's out there, and we need to do something about it because this is a national security issue. Like I feel like that's going to be more of what's going to be talked about is the national security side of things and how this poses such a threat to us. And
I feel like that's already happened.
I
feel
know,
like
and
that's-
it's like
that's what's already going. Like, I don't think they're gonna go much further than what they've already done because, like, let's take David Gresh for example. He can't say all that he knows specifically because of national security and like the
he has
guidelines of the
NDAs and
government.
stuff.
yeah, because he'll
exactly.
get fucking
And
assassinated.
if the government is gonna release anything that they haven't already, it's either gonna like open a huge Pandora's box, shatter everything, or it's just gonna be more of what we already know of like, oh, there's was this maybe thing, or like we can kind of confirm but can't kind of deny this. And like if they pull out like it's either gonna be if they pull out like names, it's either gonna be people that are gonna be dead and we can't talk to or can't talk
Exactly.
about, like or like there won't be a lot of information about their interactions with it,
Or it's gonna be a made up person.
or it's gonna be some it could be someone totally made up. And if they have like specific videos and stuff, it's like sure they'll probably reference some stuff we can find online, or like maybe a video that like the Navy has that we haven't seen.
Well, we got to think about
But
this
um
information. All of this, even with David Grush's congressional hearing back in, was this 2022? All of that information was vetted by the government. Like he had to be given precise instructions on what he could talk about
And that's why he didn't
before he
answer
could
certain
disclose it.
things.
Yeah.
yeah.
So even what we hear in this next congressional hearing on Wednesday, it's all going to be what they want us to know. It's not going to be the full picture. It's going to be
Right.
piecemealed. Here's a little bit, here's a little sprinkle to get you thinking. Like, I feel like it's we're we're like 2 steps forward in disclosure and 2 steps back. Like it's just like we're inching back
Yeah.
and forth.
A step and a
Because-
half back.
Yeah,
Because
a
I
step
feel like
and a
every
half
step,
back.
I feel like every time there's
it's
something,
just
we're
like a little
getting
bit more.
we're getting a little further, but really slowly.
Yeah. I feel like
And
the
then-
cat's already out of the bag. Like we can't put it back in. I feel like it's just going to end up spilling over, and we're going to have catastrophic disclosure at some point. But it's just I feel like there are people in the background trying to keep the secret for as long as possible and
Yeah.
keep it as contained. But they know there's nothing they can do.
Which is stupid because it's like, why keep it so fucking hidden? Why?
It's because of stupid human concerns, you know, like
I know, but
it's like
why
this
do
is such
why
a
do people have to be such monkeys when stuff happens?
'cause
We all
that's
just
what
start
we
like
are.
freaking out and attacking stuff.
and then like
it's like, damn it.
if does anybody know I have a couple questions, but does anybody know if any other countries are doing anything like this? Because clearly
I
this is
actually
like
don't.
a world event.
Yeah. There is actually another meeting in South America and Mexico about the Nazca mummies. They're finally coming out with their findings about the
And Peru.
Nazca mummies. In Peru, yeah. It's
I
going to
think
be
I
Peru
heard something
and Mexico.
about like the mummy, some kind of mummy with hair on it, or
Dude,
something like that.
I saw photos of one with literal fingernails.
Yeah,
It was
yeah. I think I know what you're-
it was 3 fingers, but it had like actual fingernails and cuticles and everything. And it was like, whoa, that is like a real hand.
See, okay, this is kind of like what I'm trying. I guess would kind of help me get to the point I'm trying to make. Is like if that's real, right? These mummies that are coming out, there are crashes throughout the world that the U.S. government knows about that most of the world will never know anything about.
Exactly. But well,
How is it? How are they letting these supposed corpses of aliens just be in the public eye in some foreign country when they won't confirm anything about something else? Do you know what I'm saying? Like they either don't think it's real
Yeah.
or they don't think it's a big enough story for anyone to give a shit about.
or they
And
just think maybe they're just not as legit because it's a foreign country. And
Well, it's-
people won't believe the news and they can write it off. You know what I mean?
I
They can
feel
be
like that's-
it's
yeah.
from South America. Who cares? It's not real. It's South America. It's not American news.
I feel like your point is very, very on point, Vance. Like I feel like they're just
Thank
going
you.
to deflect it because
Mhm.
it's less believable if it doesn't come from the horse's mouth from our
Exactly.
own government. They're
That's-
just going to
that's
be like, oh, it's propaganda from another country. But
They can easily write it off.
exactly, and I feel like that's part of the issue. But there are credible scientists, even from our country. There are scientists from around the world who have been studying these mummies. Like there are definitely ones that don't look as believable as the other ones, but there is a big being that it has been studied and is
Yeah. And
human size.
and we'll send you photos of that, Esden, to put in the YouTube video because
Yeah,
this needs the fingernails and everything. That'll have to be shown because it's wild.
Oh,
Could you
it's
guys like
terrifying.
link me to like a video or like an article that I could look more into this? Because I don't know
I
like a
think
ton.
so. I shared this on the. You don't have access to the unplugged email, do you?
No, I don't.
Fuck. Okay.
I
Well,
forgot
I'll
what was
share
the
this with
name
you
of this
later,
one.
but I do have some stories in here that you'll be able to click through and get some photos from
Okay, cool.
or
Okay.
this stuff.
And another thing, again, this is just showing my ignorance of how space works. Um, but we have like, is it the James Webb Telescope that's like the furthest from Earth or whatever?
Well, it's not the it's further out than Hubble, but it has a much larger lens and capacity to absorb light than Hubble ever had. So it basically has this massive array of mirrors that point in and focus all of the light into the lenses and basically gives us a much clearer and
Hmm.
faster scope on light out there in space. Like
It,
that's all the telescope is actually collecting is light data. It is collecting where the
Hmm.
light is reflecting
yeah,
off
it's
and
not like there's an optical lens literally looking at it. It's a series of
Okay.
mirrors and lenses and like the clearest photos we see are from this telescope.
yeah,
Got you. Got
And
you.
it's
it probably
just
takes a minute for that photo to like actually
To
process.
send in and stuff. Yeah.
oh yeah, big time. So what do you guys think about this all this information coming out and what is your like your take on aliens? Like are you a believer or are you not? Like what is your feeling on it?
Isden.
Oh, I get to go first. I mean, of course I believe. I mean, it's alien. I mean, it's. I think it would be no offense to anyone who doesn't, but I think it's stupid if you don't believe in aliens. Like, I mean,
Exactly. I think it's silly
It's
if
even
you think we're the
naive,
only
whether or
dude.
not
ones.
you believe they're here or not, you should believe in aliens. It's like,
They're
Life is
somewhere.
out there.
yeah, I think. However, when it comes to like visiting Earth and stuff, I definitely think it's happened, and I think the government knows way more than they're willing to give out for whatever reason, that may be. However, I don't I don't see aliens as a potential threat because if they were, we would have already experienced that.
If they
And
are, they've been.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
exactly. And then I for the like the congressional hearing that'll come up, I'm like really interested to see obviously what is revealed and said, but I don't think much like ground altering, groundbreaking information will be presented outside of maybe a few little more breadcrumbs that like just kind of tug us along. But I don't think we will get much more information. I think we're almost at to a point where we're not going to get too much more information, or it's going to be information that is just going to blow the lid off of everything. Because if they prevent material and confirm, like, yeah, this is from, hang one of the hangars of one of the alien spaceships or whatever, or confirm some kind of life form, like just straight up, then yeah, that's going to be insane. But I don't think they'll do that. And I don't think the community is really going to get anything insane out of it. It'll be interesting. Um, but yeah.
Okay.
What do you think, Vance? What's your feeling on it?
So honestly, I am 100% believer that there is aliens out there, whether it's a tardigrade, a fucking praying mantis, or a full-blown humanoid creature. There's something out there. And I'm more on the fence that there is actual life out there like us, more intelligent even. And they're out there making their moves, man. They're in our skies, moving around. We're seeing them. I don't think we understand them. And honestly, I'm going to take a different approach on this. I don't think they know as much about aliens as we hope they know. I think
I
the
agree with
reason
that.
why we don't know as much is because they don't know enough and they're scared and don't want to let us know that they really don't know enough about it.
Ooh,
I
I
agree.
like that take.
And
I
I feel
agree.
like that's
That is
why
a
they don't
good
tell
take.
us anything because they're like, all right, let's pretend and give like, let's not tell them everything, even though we really already have. And that's
I
it.
think,
Because if
yeah,
they
I
know
think
that
that's
we don't
facts.
know, they're going to be more scared.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, yeah.
that's my opinion. What do you think, Evan?
I think you nailed it on the head. Like that is exactly how
Hmm.
I feel about the whole phenomenon. I feel like it's harder to explain. I feel like it's more complicated than we can even understand. I I do believe that there is intelligent life out there. I don't know what this life even looks like or how it even presents itself. It could be interdimensional. I don't know how it's even possible for these things to maneuver the way they do. It's just it is a different understanding of the universe and how our physics even works. So it's
They're just
intriguing.
connected with their universe
I feel
somehow.
Exactly.
I know we're like gonna be wrapping up here shortly, but I have like one little thing here.
Do it.
I,
Go for it.
I almost don't believe that they are necessarily from another planet per se, in the sense of like, Andromeda Planet 4-A, Badusi has humanoid robots.
Could you imagine if we just kicked them off Earth like the Native Americans in America? Could you imagine if that's just how it fucking worked?
It's like, yeah, we're
Could've
here
been
now.
it,
This is
dude.
ours.
Maybe the
Elon
moon
Musk
is
just
their
came down and
spaceship.
flamethrowered everybody.
But I think it's got to be some kind of interdimensional type thing, kind of like, and we're almost seeing, kind of like the shadow
Like
or
a higher being kind of
Yeah,
manipulating,
because-
moving through our universe.
and like, I think because a lot of people draw parallels between, like every
Ghosts and
religious.
UFOs?
Well, I was gonna say every religious text ever talks about like beings from the higher dimensions, or these like Ezekiel's flaming wheels, or like the floating palaces in Hinduism, and like these beings that the sky opens up and things come out of it, and
It's these ethereal beings that are
Yeah.
beyond our comprehension.
That's kinda like the
living
whole
on a
4D
different
thing.
yeah, like
With the
it's
shadows.
yeah, 100%, and I think that's more of what we're seeing rather than
Yeah.
like intelligent life, in the sense that like three-dimensional. I think it's more of a four-dimensional, even and beyond, attempting to either manifest itself in this three-dimensional world, or it's almost like we're seeing the remnants of these things,
That's-
like almost coming in and out of the
Yup.
realities that they exist in.
It's almost like we're
Um,
seeing the byproduct of their existence.
Yeah,
It's them just
and
stepping
It's
their
somehow
toe on our
bleeding into
universe.
us. Yeah, exactly. That's a good way to
Yeah.
put it. It's them accidentally somehow exposing themselves for a split second. And they're
it's like
"Ooh."
they're like they can travel the dimensions, and they're like, okay, in the third dimension there are these beings that could probably, we'd probably dismantle them, or they would try to kill us. Let's not do it. And then every once in a while they kind of like accidentally or come
Leave
in
their
and
fly
check on
down.
us. Yeah.
They walk
Just
away from the
flashes real
urinal with their
quick.
fly down. They're like, ooh, and then they zip it
Like,
up real
"Oh,
quick, and
shit."
that's all we see. And then we're like, wait, what was that?
What was this? Like, what happened?
And they're
Or,
like,
the
these
big space
fuckers.
we think it's like the biggest deal ever when their fly is down, but to them it's just kind of like,
This
whoops.
is another
Dude,
Tuesday,
this
dude.
fucking idiot was taking a piss, and I accidentally put my foot through the ceiling.
Crazy. And then like when they crash, I almost think it's either like they're doing it like a kind of like David Gresh had said, that like maybe it's they're doing it on
Intentional?
purpose.
Yeah.
To see what
Yeah.
we would do with
See
their stuff.
what we would do. See if they like, okay, what if we were to arrive here in such a way to like make ourselves known? Or
Like giving monkeys fire.
Exactly.
let's just see what they do.
Have you ever seen that video?
100%.
Have you ever seen that video of the monkey with the AK-47? Have you ever seen that?
Oh yeah.
Dude, oh my god, that's us.
Isn't that from Planet of the Apes? I think that's from Planet of the
No,
Apes.
it's a real thing.
It's a real
It's a
video.
real video.
Oh god, that's
He's
terrible.
like, picks it up and they
Somebody
start laughing.
handed them a monkey, an AK-47. They're like, oh, look at, and he started like holding it, just like shooting.
shooting up into the sky.
Don't give monkeys guns. They'll shoot
But-
you and then eat your face.
See,
boys.
that's what I'm saying.
Leaving on that monkey note, I have to pee so fucking bad. We got to
Oh, me
wrap up
too.
this episode. It was good. This was a fun episode. The aliens was good. I think they're there. I think we need to watch for them. I don't think we know everything we need to know, and we need to be more scared of them.
Yeah, keep your eyes on the skies, guys.
Keep your eyes in the
Yo.
skies, boys. Follow us on everything, Esden.
What? Yeah. So we are on all audio platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere else. We're on YouTube, so go subscribe there and
Please
you can see
subscribe
our
and actually
faces there if you
like.
want to.
You can see these two guys' lovely faces
And
every
soon
week.
Evan, right?
Yeah.
Evan?
I hope
Yeah.
so if I can get a video camera. I'm just shy. I'm bashful.
And then leave reviews if you have like any information that you want us to talk about when it comes to aliens or topics or anything.
Or
email
corrections.
us. Or
Yeah, leave
corrections.
us some stories, dude. I would love
Email
to
us
hear
at
from
the
people.
thoughtvoidpodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you guys. And then we also have Instagram. Check that out.
Yes.
So,
And next week, looking forward, we have a zombie episode coming. And then after that, we have another zombie episode coming. And then after that, I don't know. But stick around and you'll find out soon. We love you guys. Bye.
peace.
All right, peace out, guys.
Oh, also, by the way, there's a patent for the cure for cancer.
That's crazy.
So does that mean we have it?
I think it's one of those patents that they put in place. I just sent it. Oh, I sent it to Evan, but here I can send it to everybody.
That's so fucked up that you just sent it to him.
Well,
So
he
can I
had sent-
just like make the cure for cancer at home? Just like fucking do this like Breaking Bad. Just fucking start whipping out the cure for cancer.
The cure for cancer is actually a green apple a Jolly Rancher.
That'd be wild. Or if watch it be like all
Something
this fucking
stupid simple.
yeah, it's like rubbing two stones together. It's all these fucking crystal
Right.
chicks. They
Right.
they were right the whole time.
You just have to wear this around your neck for a month and you're good.
Yeah.
Cure for cancer. Interessante. The chemical that prevents and cures cancer is salicylic acid. Salicylic acid. If applied directly onto or injected into the affected area in proportion and concentration depending upon the size of the cancer, will reduce and remove cancer of all types, including leukemia or blood cancer. A 40% solution of salicylic acid is effective in reducing and removing small pimple-sized cancerous cells. Higher concentrations and doses would be needed for application on cancer areas depending on their size and density for their removal. Holy shit.
I think
That's
what
not
it
real.
is-
This isn't real, right?
No, it's real. It's a real thing.
What?
I think what it is like, so certain pharmaceutical companies will be contacted by doctors who have like cures for diseases, and then the patent will come out from that pharmaceutical company for that practice or for that invention or whatever as like a blockade so that people don't pursue it so that they can still sell their cures.
And they probably also have to go through the testing phase and all that shit and
True.
actually make sure it's safe for use. Like we don't want to have a fucking what is the movie with
Well, this has been out since 2003.
Yeah, this is old, dude.
what is the zombie movie with fucking what's his nut who
World War
who-
Z. It's I Am Legend.
he's I Am Legend. Yeah, thank you.